The FA have claimed that I was defamatory in a tweet that I sent, and on that basis they felt that it was they were legally entitled to withhold the payment. I disagree with that. The FA were very keen for me to speak freely about the case. I think when the initial Daily Mail article came out, I was very brief. I didn't feel it was necessary to go into it. I wanted to move on. I wanted to encourage people to still support the England team despite a negative story coming out. It's only after that that a lot of sort of misleading stories kept coming out, and I felt I should speak on the case. But even at that point, I asked for clarity and agreement with the FA as to what I should say. They were very keen for me to speak freely about the facts of the case, and that is what I've always done. I've done 2 interviews, one with The Guardian and one with BBC, and I've spoken factually about my views on how this case was handled and my views on Mark Sampson's behaviour. So on that basis, the FA are withdrawing or withholding some of the payment, but also they are withholding it, which I think is contradictory to their initial intention for me to speak out, to speak freely, to contradict accusations of it being hush money. Now, at this point, if you are withholding payment on the basis that I've spoken out, then you're suggesting that there is an attachment to money being attached to speaking out. Mm-hmm. No one's ever said to me, how much can we pay you to be silent? Mm-hmm. That never happened, and I would never agree something like that. All of the financial negotiations were based on loss of earnings and loss of future earnings, and discussions about what I potentially would have got an employment tribunal. In terms of the confidentiality element, we decided, obviously both parties decided it was in their best interest to not go to court. And at that point, there was no need to speak publicly because there was the public element had already been decided. There was no need to speak publicly. Mm-hmm. But had it have come out, there was an agreement that once it came out publicly, both parties can speak. I had one meeting with Martin Glenn, and he effectively suggested that if I wrote a statement, a favourable statement saying that the FA are not institutionally racist, that they would think about releasing that money. I felt that was bordering on blackmail.